We kickstart the action with the monarch of the motorcycle, a man known simply as King Dougie.
In the world of motorcycle trials, one man wears the crown. Already a 6-time world champion, 23-year-old Dougie Lampkin was born into a biking dynasty. And it didn't take long for the young pretender to become leader of the pack.
I first started riding motorcycles when I was 2 years old, and I got my own bike when I was 3, but I've watched my father ever since I was 6 weeks old, so it's sort of been in the family. It all started off in the 60s with my Uncle Arthur, who used to be on the television every weekend, riding for Great Britain in scrambles, and also his brother Alan, and then my father, who started trials, and in 1975 he was the world trials champion, and then I won the world championship 23 years after my father did.
But motorcycle trials isn't without its tribulations. The object of the game is to navigate a bike over seemingly impossible obstacles without letting your feet touch the ground. Which means the trick of competing is to know your tricks.
Yeah, the wheelie basically, you push down on the front forks of the bike, and just as it hits the bottom, you start to lean back, the front forks extend, and you just snip the clutch just a little bit and then start with the throttle. Once it comes up onto the back wheel, the engine's got enough torque on the bottom end that you don't really need to use the clutch, and you can just ride it on the bottom of the throttle and basically go wherever you want on the back wheel. Obviously riding uphill and downhill, it's a very different technique. Going uphill, you'll have to lean to the front of the bike with your arms and your legs slightly bent. Obviously going downhill, you've got to straighten your arms up and lean as much over the backward guard as you can. And that's basically just to keep your back wheel on the ground, stop you going over the handlebars. All the time when we're riding around, we're moving the bike from side to side, up and down, and as you can see, the suspension's very soft, so you can just manoeuvre the bike really wherever you want.
And Dougie's been to most places in the world of trials, but success on 2 wheels doesn't come cheap.
Almost every nut and bolt on the machine and all the spindles are made of titanium, and all the plastics, as you can see, the tank and the airbox is all carbon fibre, so it is a very expensive machine indeed.
Lampkin's total dominance of the sport has earned him the nickname of King Dougie in Europe, particularly apt for a rider who's won both the indoor and outdoor world championships for the last 3 years in succession.
In '97, I won my first indoor world trials championship, but I think when I rode out of the final section in the outdoor season, knowing that I was world champion, and I'd sort of dedicated my life to doing that, really, it was the one thing that I really, really wanted, and I think succeeding, that was the best moment. My favourite trial is the Sheffield trial. It's also the first round of the World Indoor Championship. 8,000 people screaming their heads off at you when you're riding to the arena. It sort of makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up.
Dougie expects to be in the saddle for a few more years, and the name Lampkin could be around for a lot longer.
I would say I've probably got until about 30, 32 years at top level. And then after that, I haven't really thought about what I'd want to do. Probably I'd like to carry on running my own team, which I've obviously just started up. It's something I've always wanted to do, is run my own team. And I'm also running 2 other riders. One of those riders is going to compete in all the European Championship, the British Championship and the World Junior Championship. I have also drafted in my cousin, James, who was the minder for me in all the World Championship with my father.
But when you're the undisputed world champion with your own team, is there anything left to strive for?
Really, I've only got one ultimate goal left. I've won all the trials in England, obviously World Championships, but one man from Spain called Jordi Tarras won the World Outdoor title 7 times in his career, and really I'm chasing that. I mean, you'd say it was impossible, and I'd say the same, but he's managed it, so there's no reason why somebody else shouldn't. So that's what I'm chasing, and I'm hoping for similar results.